Here on Midwest Sports Net at the Lone Star Conference Football Media Day 2021. I get the privilege to visit now with Coach Tye Hiatt, who is in his first season at Eastern New Mexico. Coach, you've made the trip across the country then to be a part of the program in Portales. Talk about being at Eastern New Mexico now.
Yeah, no, Eastern has been great. Tremendous community. Obviously, there's a long-standing history of football at Eastern. Some tremendous coaches, tremendous teams, great players, and when the opportunity came up to interview for the position and be able to lead the program, it was one of those things that I was really excited about. And coming all the way from West Virginia to come over to New Mexico was a little bit of a trip. I lived in the West Campus apartments for the first 2.5 months. My family got on campus about 3 weeks ago. But I was talking about this earlier. I grew up on a ranch in Eastern Oregon. So Portales itself is not such a culture shock. Boots and hats. You go into El Rancho, all those type places. Like, it was just kind of the norm of where I grew up at. And so, being in the community of Portales has been tremendous. Tremendous people, a lot of people that care about athletics, a lot of people that want us to do well, and I think those are things that are important for us to then keep sustaining that success as a program.
There was not a lot of football played within the entire state of New Mexico last season due to all the things that were going around with the pandemic and all of that. Is it any kind of difficulty getting back into routines now and with the players that you have?
Yeah, well, first off, I can tell you that the players are excited. They're really excited, and just getting to know all the high school coaches in New Mexico. They were grateful to play 3, 4, 5 games this past spring. But our players are really chomping at the bit. And we've been really fortunate, right after the 4th of July, we've had a lot of players come back who have been running and lifting and all those type things. So that's probably going to be the biggest challenge as a coaching staff, is figuring out, where is that threshold of how much do you push them, what do you not do, injury-wise, those type things. I think that was something that you saw in the NFL last year with the season and those type things, is that teams had to maybe dial it back a little bit just because their bodies weren't used to football. They weren't used to the grind. But I can tell you, we might have some adjustments there, but our kids are excited to go. They tell me every day. So,
Speaking with Coach Tye Hiatt here on Midwest Sports Net, Lone Star Conference Football Media Day. We're in McKinney, Texas. It's a fantastic facility. It's actually the site of the national championship game for Division II for years to come from this point. Back in 2019, had their national championship here, and so it's a great facility. Coach, with that in mind, you get a chance of something for the kids to push toward, knowing this will be the ultimate goal for everyone in Division II. What's camp going to be like for you then? Is there a lot to push for? Do you have some battles that you expect to happen?
Yeah, I think there's a with our identity as a team, I think there's a lot of things that we have to figure out. One thing that I think I feel really good about as a coach and our coaching staff is our offense and defensive line. 2 of the kids that we brought today are preseason All-Americans with Veely and Mason. And when you walk into a new program, there's different things you have to look at and analyze and everything else. But I will tell you, the one thing that feels really good is that we have some good O linemen and D linemen. Just kids across the board, from Bailey Adair to Hunter St. John to Keelan Ferdinand, Kendrick Milfred. You just talk about these kids that have been in the program for 2, 3, 4 years. And as a coach, when you go to sleep at night, you feel really good when you have good O linemen and D linemen, because then you know that you have a chance every week to be in every single game.
That's something I don't know that you can replace that, and you want the depth too, not only the solid ones, but the depth there in the trenches. Well, Coach, you're going to have an opportunity then. Man, the start of the season's just right around the corner. It's going to get here before long camp, and then the opening to your schedule. One other thing, though, that I heard you mention just a moment ago when you were on the stage there about the offense. Eastern New Mexico's had kind of a certain feel in recent years in running the ball, and the phrase or the acronym that you used, TBD.
Yeah.
so any kind of or are we giving away state secrets if we talk about the offense?
No, not at all. No. Offensively, we're still going to run the football. I think that's one of our calling cards of who we are at Eastern, and we have to be able to run the football, be great at the line of scrimmage. We are going to throw it a little bit more than what's been done in the past. But I think as a coach, when you walk into situations, I think it would be really bad judgment on our part to come in and just throw everything away that's been so successful. Because like I said earlier on the stage, there's been tremendous coaches in this program. The last one to leave, Coach Kelly Lee, tremendous football coach, won a lot of games at Eastern, won 21 games in 3 years, and the calling card was being able to run the football effectively. And I think in order for us to be successful, we have to find ways to be creative in the run game, and in turn, on defense, we return 7 starters. So I think that that's going to bode really well for us to be able to control the football, control the line of scrimmage, and then give our defense a chance to be able to do what they do well, which is, limit opponents, take away the football in key situations. And I'll tell you one thing that I'm pretty excited about is our specialists. Cooper Hamilton out of Lubbock. I tell you, I'm pretty biased, but I think we have one of the best place kickers in the nation. Yeah. So when you talk about kicking and punting and long snapping, a lot of coaches don't go into that because they say, oh, it's just kind of there. But then as a coach, when you're on the sideline, you worry about it because you say that first punt snap, you're like, okay, well, we just don't want to go in over his head. It can be a little low. It just can't go too high. But that's one thing that I feel really good about as our coaching staff is that we're going to put a lot of time into that because, again, it goes to the calling card of Eastern. I think we've got to play great defense. We have to be great on special teams, and we can't hurt ourselves offensively. And then, like you said, the Lone Star Conference is one of the best in the country. You're dealing with teams with Commerce and Angelo and WT, and I think if we can do those things on our end to focus on us, I think that we have a chance every week to be competitive. And with our boys, that's one of the things we talk about every day is that we don't want to worry about, what's down the road. Obviously we have training camp coming up, but we have Central Washington September 2nd. Mm-hmm. And for us, it's all about what we can control, as a team and as a program, and understand that there's going to be growing pains, because even with the transition, I tell the boys all the time, the last game we played in, we won, but it was December 7th, 2019 against, Arkansas Tech. And with that, that's just one of the things right there, Southern Arkansas. That's one of the things is that we just haven't played in that long, and as eager as everyone is and they're ready to go, and I love the energy and enthusiasm. In order to be good at football, you have to play football. So that's one of the things that we're going to work through and do it as a team. And I'll tell you, one of the things we're excited about, though, is that our first 3 games are at home. Yeah. We go Central Washington and then at home with Adams State, and then Kingsville comes to our place. And I was joking with all the other coaches about playing at Blackwater Draw, but maybe we'll get one of those. I don't know. But anything we can do.
Talking about maybe playing for the wagon wheel there?
Hey, one of the things is I tease coach about it. I would love to do that because I hear the stories of the pink locker room and everything else. And, but I think that's one of our calling cards, and what's unique at Eastern and Portales is, it's a unique community that loves football, very supportive, and anything that we can use to our advantage, we're going to do.
That sounds cool. I have called games. I broadcast games from Blackwater Draw, and I think you might even be able to see this facility on a clear day when you're up in the press box at Blackwater Draw. But That's great. Hey, listen, those are tough opponents to start the season, really are. But all 3 at home to get the season open for Eastern New Mexico. It's a Thursday night matchup to get things going. So the 2021 season right around the corner. Coach Tye Hiatt, thank you so much for taking time with us today here on Midwest Sportsnet. We appreciate that, and success to you all.
Thank you.